This week, Group C will be going X, and I'm hoping to see some nice distributions like we saw in Group B. We shall see. Hello, my friends. This is Legend. Group C will be going X this week. This is early. This is Monday. They will announce their distributions on Wednesday. They will go X on Thursday, and of course, payout will be Friday. For Group C, we're looking at CONY, FIAT, MSFO, AMDY, NFLY, ABNY, PYPY, ULTY, CVNY. And of course, we'll have our weekly payers of YMAX, YMAG, LFGY, JEPQ, SDTY, RDTY, and QDTE. So in Group C, let's just check out and see how CONY's doing and find out what or if we're going to do anything with CONY this week. So here we are on the Webull stock chart for CONY. We had this line here as a support, $11.24. And where did that come from? Well, that was where we bounced off back here. And that was around about September the 6th, 2024. Looks like we had went up, and of course, we were talking about it at around this point where we were hoping to get that bounce, and it did break through. And then we've got our little confirmation candle right here that it is definitely broken down below that support. But one thing to keep in mind, once it's under that support, now that same line that was a support now becomes a resistance. So what I mean by that is once we've broken down below that support line, and a support holds it up, right? It's kind of like the legs of a chair or legs of a stool. It supports you, right? The resistance is like the ceiling, right? It keeps you from going any higher, right? This being a support originally, when it was over here, it was a support, right? Because it was kind of bouncing off of it, kind of like the floor of their house, right? You can't go any lower than that, but it's not impossible to go through the floor though. And of course, that's what we did right here. We actually broke through that floor, and now we're under the floor, right? So what happens now? Well, your perspective changes, and now that same line that was a support is now a resistance, meaning that now this candle and this chart has to try to break back through that top. So it's got to break through that to get back up to this area. So it's going to resist breaking above that, and therefore could cause it to fall down. Now, the only reason why I'm saying that, like I said, is because that seemed to be that support that we bounced off of back here. So now it is a resistance in hopes that we can break through that again and get back up here. But we'll see. With the X date coming up, the distribution will come out of the price of the stock. So therefore, anything that we earn, of course, will come out of this price. Now, the worrisome thing about it getting down low is of the fact that it's just the price of the stock, well, just being too low. And we have seen, like Tesla, at one point when it got low, it did a reverse split. And what that means is, say if it's a 1-for-2 split, what that means is for every 2 shares you have, you'll get 1. So basically cut your share number in half, right? So if you had 100 shares, after a split like that, a reverse split, if it is a 1-for-2 split, then your 100 shares would become 50 shares, right? And then therefore the stock price would also double. So if it's at $9, then that stock price would go to 18 and you would have 50 shares. And that would give you dollar value wise, you would still have the same amount, because $18 times 50 would be the same as $9 times 100. So for me, right now I'm a hold on CONY because I want to see if we can break back up through this this now resistance line. So for now, I'm just holding what I have. And talking about what I have, let me slide over to my spreadsheet and I'll show you where I'm at on CONY as far as the average price. So here we are on my spreadsheet. This is the one I have for CONY. The current price being $9.52. I currently have 200 shares, and that is being added up from the number of shares that I have in my chart down here, or my table. It has the dates that I purchased it, the buy price that I paid per share, and how many shares that I got of each. Then it's just calculating that up and adding it up and dumping it right into the number of shares right here. And I'm also getting and calculating that purchase share average, and that's the average of the purchased shares. So I am at an average of $13.13 with a total capital invested of $2,625.34. I've earned in distributions $128.51. In premium, and that was a put that I did sell on it, I earned about $40 in premium on that. We'll talk a little bit more about the premium here in a second. So the calculated adjusted capital invested is $2,456.91, and that is basically just my capital minus what I've earned. And therefore my new adjusted price per share is $12.28 per share. So I have earned 6.42%. Now, as I was saying, this is my number of shares I've purchased at the price per share. This is the distributions that I have earned, and I'm actually short one distribution in here. So let's go ahead and enter that into this spot. Okay, so let's enter in that distribution, and that distribution was on 2/10, and the amount that I earned on my account was $88.98. So that helped bump it up just a little bit. My average is still above the current price. So, of course, that means that I am still slightly under. So I have earned back a percentage of 9.8% on CONY so far. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about the premium side of CONY. And as you can see where I did sell one put, I wanted to show you the option chain on this. And since I do have 200 shares now, I can sell calls against it as well. And if I did sell a call, I would want to sell it at least no less than this price right here. Because if I sell it for less than this, that means that not only did I use up my distributions and premium that I earned to sell it at that price, but I will also lose price appreciation as well. Because this price is including the premiums and distributions. So at minimum, I want to sell no less than $12. I prefer to sell it above the $13.13, which you'll see on the option chain that is going to be about a $14 strike. All right, so here we are on the option chain for CONY. And as you can see here, I have it on April the 17th. Okay, so that's a little over a month out. And I was saying the least that I would sell it for was $11.84, which means it would be that $12 strike right there. And that would be the least amount that I could sell it for without it costing me to do so. And I don't necessarily want to do that. So it looks like a mid price of about $10 because it's between 5 and 15 cent times how many ever contracts times 100 shares, because each contract's 100 shares. So in this case, looks like I might can get about $10 to sell a $12 call. Now I have 200 shares, so I could sell 2 contracts at the $12 and earn 20 bucks. But now if CONY does get up above that $12, then I am at risk of getting assigned early, or if at expiration it is above that, then I would need to try to either roll that call out so that I can get it up above that 12 to 13 and even close to $14, or else I would be assigned at that 12, meaning they'll take my shares at the 12 bucks. Now on the put side, as you can see here, the current price is $9.52, and the spread on these are not that great, right? 80 cents to $1.30 for a $9 put. That's right there at it. Now, if you're thinking that this is the bottom, then you can do the $9 put right there, and you might can get about $1. So therefore, that'd be $100 that you would earn on a $9 put. But if it does go below that by that expiration date, then you could get assigned and be purchasing it at $9. Now, with the market the way it's been going, I'm not sure that I would sell a put that close to the money. That's just a little too close for me. And as you can see, I can scroll out here. I mean, that's a delta of 1. I mean, you know, that's not what I'm looking to sell a put at. I would be looking closer to about a 10 to 15 delta here. And that's a $6 put, and I can pretty much tell you they're probably not paying anything for that. $6 put is 0 to 50 cents. So it shows a 25-cent mid, but since this is a 0, the chances of you getting filled is pretty slim on this one. So the premium is not as good as it is on MSTY for CONY, but I could still sell a couple calls or even just one call at the $12, earn 10 bucks for it. It goes out to April, and that's not, like I said, that's not great, $10, but that would be something that I can earn on it. And then, of course, if it did get above it and say my shares did get called away, I still have another 100 shares. But, of course, I would always try to roll that up to 13 and so forth. But this one here doesn't have a whole lot to work with. As you can see, there's a lot of zeros here. Trying to do options on CONY, not too easy, and unless you're wanting to be really close to that current price and set your strike price really close to that price, you really can't do much with the options on CONY. So anyway, I think that's about all I've got for this one. CONY will be going X this week, so we will see what the distribution pays out. Hopefully we get a nice distribution. I wouldn't mind that at all. That's going to help to adjust this price and hopefully bring it down some more right along with that current price. If that can go up and my average go down, then I'm looking a little bit better at trying to sell that call for CONY. That would get me a little closer to that strike that would be above that $13 strike. So if you would, please like, subscribe, share. Be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.